Hey guys, when I bought this Schuberth C3 Pro, I was under the impression, or at least I hoped, that I was getting probably one of the best crash helmets available today from a safety point of view certainly, and hopefully for functionality. And overall I've been reasonably happy with it. I went for the communications pack as well, and that made it a pretty big investment. I mean, you're talking, this particular helmet was £500 because I got £50 off, so it's a £550 helmet, and the communication system was £300 or £400, so you're talking not far off £1,000. What I didn't know was there is a government initiative called SHARP, and it was set up to run independent tests on all the helmets, or as many as I suppose they can test, of the available helmets in the UK. And if I'd actually known about this, I probably wouldn't have bought this helmet. And I'll just read some of the things. Basically, this gives you a star rating for each of the helmets that they've tested, and they have tested full face helmets here and the system helmets, or the flip front helmets on the right hand side. And when I looked up for Schuberth and C3 Pro, I was disappointed to see only 3 out of 5 stars and a latch performance of 97%. So we'll just read what they say about this. The safety rating calculations are based on the results of 32 impact tests to a range of locations on at least 7 helmets of the model being rated. These results are combined with the probability of injury risk on UK roads of an impact to that location on the helmet. A price is not factored into the calculation. Now, the latch performance, the percentage scores are calculated from the number of times the face guard remains fully locked, i.e. completely shut, after each of the 30 linear impact tests. So for an example, 30 out of 30 times it remains shut is 100%, and 9 times out of 30 is 30%. The Schuberth scored 97%, so I'm guessing at least it failed at least on one occasion. And frankly, for a manufacturer like Schuberth, and what I assumed was the quality, you would expect to see 100% latch closure in all of the tests. To get 3 out of 5 stars based on this system, which seems very, very relevant, is hugely disappointing. Their website is given on this, so you can, because this leaflet is about 2 years out of date, you can go to www.direct.gov.uk/sharp, and that will redirect you to sharp.direct.gov.uk. And obviously the website is far more up to date than this 2014 leaflet. All of the helmets have this star rating, and I looked through to see if any of the flip front helmets achieved the 5-star rating plus the 100% latch closure success rate, and the only helmet on the current brochure that achieved that is the BMW System 5. I don't know anything about that helmet. I'm going to look it up online and see what it costs and whether it's still available, etc. But all of the other flip helmets, there was not one on this current leaflet that achieves a 5 out of 5 star rating for all the tests and 100% for the latch success rate, which is pretty disappointing. In fact, some of the latch failure rates is dire. The Frank Thomas FL09, for instance, 20% success rate. It's just not what I was expecting, and I would not buy a flip front helmet that has not scored 100%, which really does limit the choice. Now you have to take this into consideration with the helmet fit. The advice from this website is you must find some helmets that fit correctly, because that's absolutely critical. So find a range of helmets that fit you correctly, and then go on and look up these these helmets and pick the safest one from these ratings. Looking at the normal full face helmets, there's only one brand that achieves a 5-star rating through all of the listed helmets, and that's Bell. Now in the old days when I was riding, I had a black Bell Star 2 helmet. They've obviously come on a long way since then, but as you can see here, all of the Bell helmets from the M1 up to the M6 have achieved 5-star safety ratings. So I think if I'd known about this website and all the testing that had been done, I would not have bought this helmet. I certainly would have looked at the BMW System 5, and I would have gone onto the website to see if there are any other flip front helmets available. I like the flip front, because you can just lift it up at traffic lights, into a garage. I wear glasses, so it's such a faff to take glasses off, take your helmet off, with the microphone in the way and various other bits. So there was a number of reasons: ventilation and the fact that you can just raise the whole front up and talk to people without having to take the helmet off. But would I have sacrificed the safety to achieve that? Well, looks like with the BMW System 5 I wouldn't have had to, and let's say that didn't exist. Would I have looked at these charts and bought any of these? Possibly not. I've spent a lot of money on safety equipment, and the helmet I thought I was not compromising on, so I would have looked at this chart and probably would have gone for one of the Bells, to be honest. There are other makes on here that have some 5-star ratings. Some of them, well, most of them I've never even heard of, but I certainly would have taken this into consideration. I think all bikers in the UK need to know about this website, because I'd never heard of it. Perhaps everybody has heard of it that's on a bike. I hadn't, so I'm guessing if I hadn't, there might be some other people out there who are not aware of this Sharp website, and may end up with a helmet that they think is absolutely fantastic, and it may not be as good as you think. Of course, all of the helmets featured have passed all of the relevant tests and fully comply with UK regulations, but that's not to say that the tests carried out by Sharp are obviously a lot more strict and all-encompassing, perhaps. So I would certainly have picked a helmet that did better in the tests. Now we're going to look at this shoe berth a little bit more closely. If you watched the earlier video from today, you know I went to a biker down course on Thursday in Brixworth in Northamptonshire. Excellent course, recommend it to anybody. And we were just discussing the various helmets with some of the guys I was sat next to, and I was saying that this one has a tendency not to shut properly. It fits perfectly, but when I've got it on, and I'll show you this in a minute, when you close this, just by holding it here, it clicks perfectly into place both sides. You can see by the gap there that it's shut correctly. But when you've actually got it on, there is a tendency for one side not to latch correctly, and the only way to know that is to feel the gap down the side of the helmet. So I'm going to just reposition this camera and put it on, and let's just see if I can show you what I'm talking about. So if we can just get this in the right place. Of course, wearing glasses is a pain. I've tried contact lenses, but the vision is not as good. Now somebody might say that this is too tight for me, but because my cheeks puff out, that's just being a bit overweight. It fits perfectly. So if I just do this up, so if I'm out, in fact I'll swing the mic down so nobody thinks that that's interfering with it. So if I now shut this, right, you can see how hard this is. It really is a two-hand job. You can't... Right, so that's a good example. I hope you can hear. I have now pulled this down, as you probably would do if you're at light, with one hand. I'm going to turn here. I don't know whether this is going to work. I can't see myself, but there's a... You can see the gap. Where is it? Running down here. I'm hoping that's on the camera. I can't see. So you can see how that's shut. If I now turn around, you can see here that that gap is a lot larger. But you might think by doing this that that is locked in place, and it clearly isn't. You've got to now grip under here and pull down quite hard, and with glasses on that really does pull down and sometimes hits the top of the glasses. So hopefully you can see. Let's try it again. So if you open it with one hand, this time that is shut, I think, on both sides without any problem. But with glasses on, there, see again, this is not the easiest thing to close. Really does need, in fact even then, I don't know whether you heard it on camera, but it looked and felt shut, but as I squeezed it, there was a click. So, I guess if you're thinking about the Schuberth helmet, especially if you wear glasses, you, I guess it depends on your face shape and everything else. This fitted me better than the showy Neotech that I was going to buy. I didn't see any of the Bell crash helmets at the shop I bought this from, but it certainly closes perfectly, you know, off the head. And how hard it is to close is probably going to depend on your head shape and various other things. But for anyone with a flip face helmet like this, just make sure that you're checking that this is closed. This is not approved for chin up riding. There are some that are, and mostly the flip up front will go right to the back. But this is not approved for riding like that. Please make sure that is shut correctly. Through a decent pair of gloves, you can feel whether that is shut correctly or not. So, would I have bought it if I'd known the safety rating given by the government's test department? No, I wouldn't. I would have gone for the Bell because they've got the 5-star rating in a full face, and I would have gone with the BMW helmet if available, again because of the 100% latch success rate and the 5-star out of 5-star rating. So please, everybody should know about this website, sharp.direct.gov.uk. Details about how to get the helmets chosen correctly for fit, various other on the website. It's excellent because they show you the tests they do, why they're relevant. The actual test results for the impacts on the top and the forehead were good on this, so that's something, but there were obviously better helmets at protecting the wearer. and as I was going for as much protection as possible, I'm annoyed that I haven't got the safest helmet that is available. Anyway, check out the Sharp website, it's very interesting, and I'll catch you later.